Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Review, as we review the latest and greatest in entertainment. Today we'll be focusing on television and discussing a show I have recently watched. So the plan here is to discuss an overview of the road so far in regards to who creates the show and who's in it. Then we'll move on to the actual review of the program, meaning what I felt about it and how I thought it was. And at last, we'll conclude with the wrap-up before we go, meaning a general summary of everything we've discussed. And on rare occasions, you may get a discussion point on themes that were presented in the show or predictions for what could happen in the show afterwards. Now, let's review. So let us begin with the overview and the road so far in regards to the television series we'll be discussing. The Mandalorian is an American Western web television space series. Created by Jon Faverau and released on Disney+, it is the first live-action series in the Star Wars franchise, set 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi and 25 years prior to the events of The Force Awakens. It follows the title character, Mandalorian bounty hunter, and his exploits beyond the reaches of the New Republic. Jon Faverau also serves as head writer and showrunner, as well as executive producer alongside Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson. The show stars Pedro Pascal, the Child, performed by various puppeteers, Carl Weathers, Werner Herzog, Omid Abati, Nick Nolte, Taika Waititi, and Gina Carano. Moving along with the review of the program, the show had strong writing, wonderful world building, great performances, flawless execution of storytelling, and sharp direction from the likes of Deborah Chow, Rick Famuyiwa, Bryce Dallas Howard, Dave Filoni, and Taika Waititi. I'd like to highlight the performances of Pedro Pascal, whose subtle performances even under the helmet does wonders compared to his other performance if you've seen Game of Thrones and such. I'd also like to highlight Taika Waititi's voice work here as IG-11, whose arc is my most favorite, echoing the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator of sorts. Nick Nolte also is in the show, and he brings a stoic calmness in his Quill, the Ugnug, an alien the Mandalorian interacts with. And lastly, Gina Carano in her guts and glorious performance of the warrior she portrays. And lastly, I'd like to highlight the individuals that do the puppet work and CGI work on Baby Yoda, who also gives a spectacular performance. And finally, Jon Faverau, who did what people thought may have been impossible to do by bringing Star Wars to TV with such ease. The show is beautifully made with care, and its uniqueness makes it one to keep an eye on as the second season draws near. So now we are going to be moving on to the wrap-up before we go on this TV series. The show was special in its approach to the Star Wars franchise. It shines in ways the movies never could because we have more time with the world and the characters and story in which it inhabits. The big moments shine and the smaller moments shine brighter. The show reminds you why you love Star Wars, but also adds a new, rich, layered texture of some smaller stories within the universe while honoring the ideologies and stories told before this one, which is why I strongly recommend it if you haven't watched it already. So that has been my review. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe to both my channels, and also let me know what you thought about the medium we discussed down below. Thank you. Bye.